A very warm welcome to ma'am. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm pretty sure again we have been hearing about Topper Stock, right? So every one of you standing here have a common goal of clearing the examination, so did ma'am had, right? But again, it is a journey and a unique journey will all of you which have of yours only, right? Everyone will have your own unique journey, right? But again, listening to a topper, what she has done and what challenges did she faced while preparing would help you out to what not to do in the preparation phase. I am pretty sure this is one of the topper stock which is very unique in its own way. Ma'am has been preparing for the examination for the last 7 years. And again, it took only one attempt to clear the examination with all the three stages clearing in the very first go. Right? So again, listen to her what she had, the challenges that she faced in the examination process, and what made her clear the examination in spite of the failures which she faced in the initial few attempts, right? Positivity, hard work, discipline, this is what motivated her, right? So we have today with Mr. Subha Darshini ma'am with securing all in rank of 83 and again clearing the examination with very successful and very flying colors. So a very warm welcome ma'am. Please, during the session, please ask your doubts, please engage with ma'am and again ask whatever doubts you have. Keeping doubts in mind and again carrying it back at home will not solve the purpose, right? So again, any small doubt which you have, you can ask ma'am and again claim then and there itself. Okay? Thank you ma'am, over to you.
Am I audible? Good afternoon, everyone. I am Subhadeshni. I am a dentist by qualification. I have been preparing for civil services since 2015, and this is my seventh attempt. And in the first 6 attempts, I could not clear prelims. And this is the first attempt I had cleared prelims, mains, and interview in single stretch. And I am a right candidate to talk more on failures than the success part. So whatever doubts you have, you can ask me. To the best of my abilities, I would address them. And this discussion I would like to have in two parts. First, I will address all the mistakes, and then we will move on to the preparation strategy. And a small note for all of you. This is my first time having a speech like this, so please bear with me for a few hours. If I'm not coherent, please don't mistake. And let's start. First, I would start with the mistakes that I had done. First thing, we all do not have a background study about the UPSC preparation, and simply we start because of the peer pressure or the pressure from the family. First, please do a thorough background work before starting the preparation. What I did was, after my graduation, I started entering into this preparation without understanding the demand of the UPSC preparation. Every stage of the exam, be it prelims, mains, and interview, it requires a unique skill set. For prelims, you will be needing more logical and analytical abilities, and for mains, more number of interlinkages between the different subjects is required. So without understanding that, and without having to analyze my strength and weakness in my optional subjects, I had chosen first medical science, then I shifted to anthropology, and then I shifted to political science. So these were the mistakes I did during the initial years of my preparation. So do not repeat the same mistakes that I did. Have a thorough background analysis of the preparation demand, and have a schedule, and have a proper book list, and whatever the possible analysis you would require, be it the academics and non-academics, everything you thoroughly research and then start the preparation. The second major mistake I did was, I did not see all the stages of the exam are interlinked, and it is to be done as an integrated manner. But my preparation started with the goal of clearing only prelims. I did not think about mains. I did not know even the syllabus of mains and the additional subjects that I have to be covering in mains if I start clear prelims. I did not do any of the background works, so it costed me my 3 attempts. Only from my 4th attempt, I started integrated preparation for mains as well. And since I did not even think about interview stage during the initial years of my preparation, it took a lot of time for me after I cleared my mains this time. Because I have been in isolation for such a long years and having to face many anxiety issues, I could not do my interview preparation well. So it took around 3 months for me to start from the scratch. So you people do not make such mistakes. Start interview preparation right from day one of your preparation. You can do small steps like you can read the newspapers and then you can summarize it to your friends, or you can explain whatever concepts you have learned. You can teach your friends. In that way, it will be a win-win for both of you. So start integrated preparation. And the third major mistake I did was I purchased all the materials and all the resources that are available in the market from magazines. For covering one news article, I used to refer to minimum 3-4 websites. That mistake I did. So you people please do not repeat the same mistake. Stick to one newspaper, stick to one news magazine. That would be very much sufficient for covering the current affairs. Do not run behind the resources. I also have read many unconventional books like Norman Love's book for world history. That was very much unnecessary. But since there was a fear that question may come, I had bought many bulky books, but I never even revised it or never even read it again, except for the first time. So please do not run after the resources. I think you are all in the safe hands. For this attempt, what different I did was I threw away all the other materials that I had and I stuck to only vision materials. I am not even exaggerating. Since I'm here, I'm not exaggerating that. I threw all the materials and only stuck to vision materials. And for current affair also, I did only PT 365 apart from newspaper. So stick to one newspaper, one magazine for current affairs, and one subject, one resource. That should be your goal. That will greatly help you in efficient revision also. And since I stuck to only one resource, I did not take any notes. That was the major advantage that I had. If I am coming across any marks, if I am not knowing any facts or something, if I am missing out, I used to take a small note in the resource that I am studying only. So I did not make any notes except for a few current affairs. So do not do that. And another mistake is never be complacent in your preparation, because that costed me a lot of attempts for me to say. I used to plan regularly. I used to have plans for 6 months ahead. But I sometimes I will feel very complacent and I will drop that altogether. So do not be complacent. If you have to complete 100% and if you are doing only 80%, that is fine. But do not, in that case, even if you miss out the 20%, you can have little soft corner for yourself for completing the 80%. But in my case, sometimes I used to cover only 50%. And then I will think great about that. I will be very complacent. I finish 50%, rest 50% we will do later. That procrastinating mindset was there for me. So do not do that also. And I have seen in Delhi, when I stayed in Delhi, I have seen many people being very, self-centered. They will not even disclose the notes that they are having, and they will not have that helping tendency. Do not be like that, because even though you can also discuss with the toppers, even though everybody reads the same subject, and even though everybody has the same knowledge, but they are getting only different ranks, right? UPSC preparation is not all about knowledge. it is also about other factors also, like interpersonal skills and emotional intelligence. Everything is interlinked. So be little generous, share your notes, teach your fellow aspirants, form a peer group. It will be very helpful for you. So do that. And another thing I want to share was, many people, because of the peer pressure, I have seen, if somebody is doing 20 tests, the other person would do 22 tests like that. Do not do that. If you are doing mocks, if you are taking 2 hours in doing a mock, give minimum of 4 hours in efficiently revising the mocks. That is only very much important rather than giving a number of mocks. So do efficient and in-depth analysis of the mock test that you're giving. And regarding CSAT, for the past 3 attempts, I missed by 0.5 marks continuously. So CSAT you have to take very dedicatedly, and you have to prepare. Do not leave even a single chapter, because there are 3 parts in CSAT: English comprehension and logical reasoning and the maths part. First I used to think I am strong in comprehension, so I will do that only. Maths part I will leave. But it costed me 3 attempts, because in all the 3 attempts I failed by just 0.5 marks. That was very disheartening. And even in the maths part, do not leave any trivial chapters like calendars and those. We know that we can do, but sometimes what happens is we become overconfident. Do not do that also. Continuously, even if you know some concepts, continuously keep revising and keep doing mocks, and continuously do efficient revision of it. And the final thing is, do not have a fear of being judged by others. That was one of the biggest learnings that I had learned from my UPSC journey. Constantly I used to compare my marks and my knowledge with others, even though I am not that deficient. But the fear of being judged by others used to bog me down. I have faced many humiliations, many embarrassments. That is all part of the journey. You have to be accepting everything with grace. Please accept the failures. You will learn a lot in the UPSC journey. Even if you fail, that learnings, it will be there for lifelong. So don't be embarrassed of your failures. Own it up, and it will take you to great heights. Now I will shift to the preparation strategy. We'll have it in 3 parts: prelims, mains, and interview. For prelims, I'll share my book list. I did only the basic materials. First, the NCRTs, and then only moved to the advanced books. In basics, I'll go subject-wise. For history, I did the NCRTs, and for ancient history specifically, I did Tamil Nadu class 11th book. And upon NCRTs, what I did was, for ancient history, only Tamil Nadu textbooks I referred, medieval also. And for modern history, I referred Spectrum book. And the Spectrum's book contains a summary of every chapter. What I did was, I did a photocopy of all the summaries and kept revising only those. So even if you have efficiently studied, the revision part is very much important. So limit your resources and limit the materials, so that you can in a number of times you can revise. So resource limitation is very much essential. Then for polity, only Lakshmikant, no other resources. And for economy, I studied Sri Ram IAS books for basic concepts, and then added with the current affair materials. Then for environment, I referred Shankar IAS book. And for science and tech, it is majorly based on current affairs only. No need for any special preparation. Since I was from a medical science background, I did not needed to learn concepts, basic concepts from like biology and all. It was not essential. It did not. It was not needed for me. If you are from non-science backgrounds, you can study the NCRTs for the biology part, etc. This was all for my prelims preparation. And for CSAT, I did R.S. Agarwal book. That I referred only for the questions. I did not learn anything from that. It was very bulky and I could not learn directly. So there is a YouTube channel called Free to Learn. So I will repeat, Feel Free to Learn. There is a YouTube channel. I learned all the concepts from that channel only, and they teach both traditional method as well as the shortcuts. And after learning every chapter, I used to do the questions from R.S. Agarwal book. That was really helpful for me. You can also do that if you want. That's all for my prelims preparation. One thing I did differently this time was I gave numerous mock tests. I think around 85 to 90 mock tests I had given. And I did all the 3 Abhyas tests in offline mode only because I was very much underconfident, continuous 6 failures. So this time I did not want any chance. So I attended offline test. It gave a boost for my mental preparation also because I have a lot of crowd fear. So to overcome that, I gave my Abhyas test this time. And one more thing I want to tell is, after you're giving GS paper, please do not discuss anything about the GS part to any of your fellow aspirants or friends, because that period after the prelims and for the CSET, no, you have to have entire focus upon the CSET only. If you start discussing the answers, your concentration will get diluted. You may feel anxious, so never do that. Entirely focus for that a few hours that you get, refresh and start studying the CSAT, the basic formulas, everything. Be prepared. And regarding the number of questions to attend, I think it would all depend upon the difficulty level of the paper. For me, I was not very weak in accuracy, so I did around 85 to 90 questions approximately in all the tests. In CSAT part, in the first 45 minutes, I would cover comprehension, and 20 minutes I will allot for logical reasoning, and the rest of the time I would try to manage the max part. And within that given span, I would attempt around 54 to 60 questions. That was my limit. You can also follow this pattern of question solving if you want. It was very much helpful for me because since I'm from medical background, I was very weak in max part, so I kept it at the end. This is all for prelims preparation. If you have any doubt, you can ask, then we will move on to mains. You can be free, you can ask doubts. I'm here to clarify, yes.
Ma'am, while giving the prelims, आपने दिया 6 to 7 times, and when you see a new question बार बार, तो what is your reaction? क्योंकि I understand IQ के साथ EQ भी important होता है. As you say that anxiety and panic कर जाते हैं हम question को लेके, then how you tackle? Like when you see a new question, जब आपने उसे नहीं पढ़ा है, आपने कोई mock में नहीं देखा है, still.
Yeah, I can address that. Since 2018, the UPSC pattern has been continuously changing. 2017, the exam which I gave first, it was more focused on the static part. There were nearly 27 questions directly from the Lakshmikant. So I thought the next attempt also will be like that. But when I saw the question paper, it was altogether different. The pattern was changed, the answer options were changed. I was completely shocked. But then once we have prepared only, we can solve those kind of questions. So I would recommend continuously updating your knowledge, and also we have to give more number of mocks. That is the only key in UPSC. It is not at all about knowledge. Once you give more number of mocks, you will start understanding the language of UPSC, how they are asking, and what, and even in many times, without having knowledge also, you can solve the paper with pure elimination techniques. Nowadays, I think elimination is also becoming difficult, but with practice, you can definitely try to eliminate and use some hacks to clear that exam. So keep practicing more number of mocks. That would be my advice. Thank you. Any other doubt? Yeah.
Thanks, ma'am. Many
Thank
congratulations.
you.
Ma'am, throughout like for years, you had been preparing from 2015 until 2023. Ma'am, there is the thing of bulking of knowledge, right? You had been seeing question papers, changing trends, and then finally you have to appear for a particular exam. So, ma'am, like, how did you manage the knowledge? Because it is very necessary to manage the knowledge as well. You have knowledge. And then, ma'am, with the current affair part, every other year the current is becoming the past. So how did you tackle that? My main concern is about tackling knowledge for such a long time and then finally coming up with the flying colors. What was your take on that?
My initial notion was more the amount of resource, the more knowledgeable I am. So I ran after the resources and I used to take many notes. Actually, to be precise, for world history itself, I took around 2 months for having that much knowledge, but it was all unnecessary. So do not be fearful of the knowledge. With little knowledge itself, you can clear this exam. What requires is practice. Even if you have little knowledge, with that knowledge, if you start writing answers, and you can do value addition later also, no problem. And the vision material that you have you must be getting, they put all they reduce your work. Actually, you need not be fearful of missing out. You can use those points in your answer writing. And for mains also, I did not study anything extra. Whatever I had read for the PT 365, same facts and same resources only I use for my mains also. So do not be worried about the knowledge. And coming to current affairs, every day you diligently read newspaper and supplement it with news analysis. That would be fine. You need not worry about that. Thank you. Since I was very weak in maths, I used to have a weekly plan priorhand itself, and I used to revise a number of times. After certain point of preparation, I lost count of how much I revised. Continuous revision is the key, sir. How much ever possible, that you have to plan according to your strength and weakness only. If you're weak in certain areas, you have to allot more time for that. That is entirely personal practice. I was very weak, and there were around 40 topics in the max, so I had split my schedule accordingly. If it is 40, and I will have 4 topics per week, and I will have it for the 10 weeks. I used to do it in that manner only, sir. Continuously, I used to revise all the max part. Thank you. Any other doubts? Can I move to mains preparation? Okay. For mains, I did entirely upon the vision materials only. Apart from the basic subjects we learn for prelims, there are certain additional subjects also in every paper. I will go paper wise. For GS1, for the world history part, I did vision materials only. And for society, Indian society, initially I did vision materials, but it was not required. You can do it from the current affairs itself, no issues. And for GS2, entirely vision materials. And GS3, for science and tech and disaster management, I used vision materials only. For economy, the current affairs based questions I used to solve. Ethics, entirely I relied upon vision only. Initially I started reading lexicon book, and I could not grasp the concepts. So what I did was, I did some reverse engineering. I first used to see all the topaz copies and the case studies and the vision booklet. After every topic, there used to be question and answer discussed for that. So I made use of that, and then only I started writing answers. So in that way, it was kind of emulating that thing in my answers. It was really helpful. And since 2018, I have been continuously preparing for mains as well, because I knew my only struggle was prelims. So I integratedly prepared for my mains, and every week I used to write minimum 4 tests, GS part, and essay part every Sundays I used to do, and shared. We had a close net of friends, and we shared our essays, and we had like peer review. That was very much helpful in the essay preparation. This is how my mains preparation went on. And the biggest challenge I faced was only in my interview phase, because after 7 long years and 7 long years I have been in isolation only. It was very difficult for me to start a conversation with a stranger. I used to be very anxious. I had taken interview guidance from Vision only. My mentor was Mr. Ramakant sir. He was the major motivator. Every day he used to call me and motivate me that you can speak well. I had a major issue with my voice. I was not at all audible to anyone. I had very anxiety issues, but that got corrected by sir only. So this is all the preparation part I wanted to share with you. If you have any doubt upon mains or interview, you can ask. I will answer. Yeah. Yeah.
Topic by topic.
For prelims or for mains?
For both.
From 2018, I have been solving papers. One major mistake I did was I did not efficiently revise the marks. That was the major mistake. Other than that, I have been solving papers, and even if I have zero knowledge, even if I'm zero prepared, I used to do mocks. That was really helpful. This attempt I cleared because not the hard work that I put only in this attempt. It was a cumulative success of all the attempts, I would say. So even if you're feeling underprepared, do give mocks. That would be very helpful. Do not wait for the end of preparation, because we will never finish everything. So give marks. So can you repeat in English? I did not understand. Do not be worried about the score, sir, because even in the Abhyas test number 3, I scored only 54. I still remember. So do not be worried about the marks. Just keep preparing. Use your marks only to correct your weak areas. If you're strong in certain areas and if you're getting marks in that, no problem. Only for weak areas, wherever you're making mistake, just note it down and keep revising that. You will automatically score well in your original exam. Yes, it is. It will be demotivating. It will cause fear, but trust the process. Do not be fearful of the marks, because it varies with paper to paper. So do not be fearful of the marks. Just keep practicing. It will come. Okay.
Ma'am, what was your second paper, like IR optional,
Yes,
IR
sir.
portion?
Yes, sir.
How to compile your notes with newspaper?
Sir, I did not make any notes. I used to do much mind mapping. Since I was interested in teaching others, I always had that continuous updation I used to do. And by teaching, I did not need to make notes. That was helpful for me. You can also do that if you want, sir.
Okay, thank you.
After 7 long years.
Actually, on the day of results, I cried because I had thought about two scenarios. Either I will be out of the race, or if I get cleared also, I'll be in the last rank. So we do not know. No, I was. It was very surprising for me also to be in the top 100. It is unexplainable to say. Enjoy the process.
Ma'am, all those years, like for like 2015, then failing, then again standing up, what was actually the motivation? I really want to know your story of motivating yourself every day and saying, let's keep going for this and I can get it, because 7 attempts is a deal.
This is my childhood dream to say. So I had set a goal for myself. If I had quit, I would have lost self-confidence completely. So that is why I kept the preparation going. And there is a incident that is something personal. After graduation, I worked in my same college as a lecturer. Then I went to a private clinic for practicing. And after 2 days of my practice, they asked me to quit and gave a 500 rupees note in my hand without telling any reasons. So it was very humiliating. And that time only I realized that I should not be dependent on any others. I should build my own career. So that is how the preparation started. And every day, when you are in the preparation, you obviously know the humiliations and the disheartenings you go through every day. So that kept me going. There is no specific factor I can tell about. Many things cumulatively, it kept me going.
At first, lots of congratulations to you.
Thank you, sir.
How can we manage burden of resources without making notes? As you have said that you did not make notes, and for that long period of time, many things are being getting outdated, and many new things are coming. How to manage those points?
Yes, sir. So I think I have a decent memory, so I did not needed to make any notes because I continuously kept teaching others. That was lessening my burden of taking notes. And only in current affair parts I took notes in some areas. I used to do mocks, and if I'm not knowing any, there are some areas that keep on repeating in newspapers. That is continuously in my memory. If suppose I'm not coming across any very new fact, that alone I used to take notes. That is how I managed, sir.
And ma'am, you had gone for multiple times for the same reference book.
I did not get your point, sir.
Ma'am, you have repeatedly read same reference book multiple times.
Yes, sir. I have lost count of how many times I referred the same book again and again. All my books are torn now. That much I have revised. So do more revision, and in my journey, teaching only helped me a lot. You can also do that. Have a group, teach others. It will be good for you also and for the other people also. Sir.
Sure, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
First of all, ma'am, congratulations
Thank
for
you.
your success.
Thank
Ma'am, I want to know about the optional part.
Yes.
Actually, I am also planning to take anthropology, but as you said, you have shifted from anthropology to some other subject. So, what was the problem with the anthropology part that you find it difficult?
Anthropology did not interest me much, and since it is a long journey, I wanted to cut short the preparation. I was very desperate to clear in that attempt, so I did not want to miss that chance. When I was analyzing the other optionals, political science had a great overlap with all the GS part as well as the ethics part, and it was helpful in writing essay also, because nowadays they are asking more philosophical essays. So the political thinkers part and all, it helped in all the subjects. That is the only reason I chose political science. Nothing hate towards anthropology and all. It
Ma'am,
was
actually, I want to ask, since I don't have any biology background,
okay.
so can I take anthropology as per your experience?
Yeah,
with
you
anthropology?
can. If it interests you, you can take. The only area that you can make a huge difference is optional. So choose your optional wisely, and choose only if that optional interests you, and if you can bring a little change in the writing answers, then you can choose anthropology. Even if you're from non-medical background or non-science background, you can choose. It will be very fine.
Okay, ma'am, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Family supports you. Like 7 long years.
Yes, ma'am.
And
My brother is sitting at the back. Actually, actually, my family was the most important pillar of strength. Um, my brother, I have a little sister also. They were my students. I used to torture them a lot. I used to take classes, even if they are disinterested. They used to sit along with me. My parents were also biggest support system for me. Being a girl and sustaining in this preparation is quite challenging. In my home, everyone is very open-minded and encouraging and progressive. But the place where I am from, sometimes people are not very open-minded. They wanted me to get married. Some of my professors also told me that you are wasting your time. You will not make it, so do not do anything of this sort. So many demotivating words have come, but my parents and family, they shielded me actually to say. That was very grateful of them. It was all accumulative efforts of all every person that I have met, not just mine. That's all. Anything else? Yeah, please. Polity. Ma'am, I used only Lakshmikant, and polity is now becoming very dynamic. You have to be very much updated with the current affairs also. Uh, you can make hints. For example, you need not make any notes per se, but you can make many hints. If you are reading one area, for example, if you are reading governor or president, what all the current affairs you come across, just take a hint. Governors are connection with this, like that you can make hints. And when you are reading your current affairs, please mention whatever points or new facts that you come across, please make a sticking notes or some sort of it in your main resource. You keep revising that again and again, that would be fine. That will be very much helpful. Okay.
Ma'am, the question is regarding GS2 and GS3.
Yes, sir.
Since it is a very dynamic topic, how did you consolidate your point just before the mains exam? Since we read a lot of facts or 365 newspaper,
Yes,
so
sir.
how did you, or case studies? So if you did not make notes, how did you consolidate those points
Yes,
just
sir.
before your mains exam?
Yes, sir. The vision materials, it is given in topic wise manner only. So I used to, apart from at the end of the material, there used to be bulky question and answer format. I used to tear all the extra pages and had only there are only 2-3 pages for every topic if you take into account only the material present. So for every subject, I used to have around 60 to 80 pages. That's all. That was my notes. I did not do any extra effort. Only from that area, I used to highlight on all the additional facts that I am learning. From the PT 365, whatever I had learned, I had attached that also with the copy. And for every GS, it would be mostly 100 pages material. That's all. I did not take any notes specially. In that way, you can have all the materials in one area, and it is all already studied by you, and you will have that pictographic memory that will help you, sir.
Ma'am, as you mentioned, you were comparing your answers with toppers. Then how can we utilize toppers' answer sheet? Because when we go through them, we face many difficulties because in some places their answer style is different, and in every answering style of every topper is different. So how can we utilize
Yes,
them?
sir. Sir, actually, I did not refer to only one particular toppers copy. I referred multiple toppers copy, and I used to write answer by myself. And with my answer, I used to refer to all the 10 toppers copies. Mostly the content and the points we write, no, it is very much similar to them only. So in that way, I used to compare and I used to modify. And also sometimes few toppers may you use catchy words in the introduction. Those all things, those are only minute things, but that makes a huge difference in your answers. Wherever you come across a different style of introductions, you can collate all those toppers copy and get inspiration from every copy. Use those words, use those introductions. You can emulate that in your answers also.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
What about time management?
So it comes with practice only. I remember in my first mains test, I wrote only one question in the entire 3 hours. So it comes with practice only, sir.
Okay.
First of all, many congratulations
Thank
for
you,
your
sir.
success. I just wanted to know the mistakes that you made in your mains preparation.
So mistakes, I would say I did not give equal importance to mains during the first preparation, and this time I had cleared my state services also. I did not get enough time for preparing the UPSC mains, but somehow I managed. Major mistake was I did not finish the. I mean, I did not plan my writing test on time. That is given as per the schedule. Whatever challenges you have, try to write the test on time only. Then only you can cover the entire syllabus and get one full revision of it. So do not postpone till you feel confident. Whatever little knowledge you have, you just start writing on time. That will be helpful, sir. And also the mentors, if they point out any mistakes, try to internalize that mistake and do not repeat it in the next test. If you keep on repeating the same mistake again and again, it will become your writing style. After some point now, it will be internalized and it will become your writing style, and it will fetch you only little marks. So try to avoid this one mistake. If you do in paper, this next time please try to avoid the mistake. Then only you can progressively improve. Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, sir.
Ma'am, about interview, like how you answers the question and what was your experience, and if you can share any question, you please.
Yeah, my interview preparation was here only. My main interview was with Dinesh Dasa sir board. Only in the mocks they used to grill you so much. They used to ask you very trivial questions and very new questions. I still remember in one of my mocks, nearly for 10-12 questions I said I don't know only. So that was all a part of experience. You will learn from your mocks and try to improve. The knowledge part they are not at all testing. They are testing only your personality, how humble you are, how social cohesion do you have, emotional intelligence do you have or not. Only those factors they are seeing in the interview. So do not be worried about your knowledge. I faced many issues with my language. I was not fluent in speaking. I was very, what to say, my voice was not audible at all, as I said. And I did not know many fluent words. I have interacted with many people who are from IIT, etc. Their way of communication was entirely different, and it was very intimidating for me. But I did not get bogged down. Whatever the little I knew, I used to speak with confidence. That is how I crossed this exam. I also have got 175 marks in interview. I have seen many toppers also who had scored the same marks like me. So knowledge has nothing to do with your personality. You can always improve, like me.
Faced during interview process.
Yeah, I still remember my first question itself was about my age. I am 30 now, and they asked me why 30s is the new 20s. I thought, and my mind was entirely surrounding the UPSC preparation only. I answered it in that aspect, but then they shifted to the marriage. Why you didn't get married still? Like that, the question went that way. But you have to be confident in the way of answering. Sometimes they may try to play with your mental strength. In my very first mock that I gave in my home cadre, they said, "You don't look good, you are not pleasant," like that. I got very upset because few things we have been sacrificing few things during our preparation. I did not get time myself for grooming, etc. So I felt very underconfident. But those factors are all very peripheral. You need not take account into that. Have confidence. If you are lacking, you can always build it from that scratch. So confidence is the key. Okay. Anything else? Yes, sir.
Ma'am, can you discuss at length how did you approach the essay paper in the final mains exam? What was your framework? Did you maintain any framework, or what was your mindset? How did you come up with the stories if you wrote any?
Yes, sir. My essay, I had a framework. I used to start with two scenarios, one a positive, one a negative scenario, then the body, and in the conclusion, I always had interlinked my conclusion with the introduction part. And in the body part also, as many dimensions as you can open up, you have to give it. There is a framework that we all have come across: polity, history, economy, those aspects. But that format everyone is following. So you have to bring out new dimensions. That is very what to say. It is based upon your creative mindset only, sir. Do not have a standard framework. Whatever new things you wish to bring in, you can bring in. That is entirely up to you.
Did you had any prepared any stories beforehand or any points sort of for essay?
No, sir. The story part I used to do there, then and there only. Like I said, I would start with two stories, one for the positive, one for the negative, and from there I used to build my essay. And also, do not write both the essays in a similar pattern. It will not fetch marks that much. So if you are writing one essay in the standard framework, try to, if you are writing story for one essay, do not repeat the same thing for the other essay also. It will become very monotonous. So try to bring in different dimensions. You can take topaz copies and you can have some idea on that. Anything else? That's all? Yeah, yes, sir.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon,
Ma'am,
sir.
as you said, you also qualified for the state civil services. So, did you prepare for that explicitly, or gave the exam just by preparing for UPSC only? And ma'am, if we want to focus on state civil services as well, so how can we do that while only focusing on UPSC preparation?
Yes, sir. So UPSC preparation gives about 90% of the content required for clearing the state exams also. In my case, since I was having so much failures, I wanted to have it as a backup plan. That is the only reason I wrote my state PSCs. And in this attempt, it was more of a hurdle only for me rather than becoming a good one, because I had allotted a lot of time preparing for the state services mains. If I had not done that, I did not qualify the state PSC mains. If I had given that time in my UPSC preparation, I think I could have scored a little more also. So it is up to you, sir. If you feel confident in your UPSC preparation, you can stick to one only. There is no need for extra preparation. It is all dependent upon the syllabus of the state PSCs also. In my state PSC, it was not required. With the UPSC knowledge only, I approached the exams also.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Anything? Okay, all the best for all of you. Do well, have hope. Yes, sir.
Ma'am, about ethics, how did you improve your marks in ethics, ma'am?
One thing I did differently this time was, sir, I incorporated a lot of flow charts and bar diagrams. In ethics, in the case study, ethics is a very lengthy paper. You have to complete the case studies in a very short duration. So what differently I did was, I used to read the case study and highlight one particular value they are demanding in that case study. I used to introduce with that value. Then to cut short my paragraph or pointers format, I used to do it in a flowchart format and also tabular column format. The course of action that we will take, that were all in a flowchart format. So it was easy to write also and easy for correction evaluation also. So that is one thing I had done differently.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, sir. Anything else? Okay, all the best from my side. You can all, I think I was of little use to you. Through failures, you do not get bogged down. You all definitely can. Do not lose hope in yourself. Consistently do prepare. Failures itself will take you towards success. So do not fear of failures. Thank you all. Thank you all. All the very best. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for guiding our students very comprehensively. And lastly, I hope all of you have got benefited out of the sessions of ma'am, right? And again, questions were very interactive, and again, you pinpointedly asked it what actually you faced, right? And again, ma'am very comprehensively and in a very honest manner gave the answers, and again shared her experience with you all. Thank you all for joining us. And lastly, a very big congratulations, ma'am. And
Thank
again,
you, sir.
lastly, a big round of applause for ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all.